Hey, I'm Steve Smith, and I'm a real estate investor, and I've been having an awesome time working with Olga.
Hi, my name is Eric Hudz. I'm a Vancouver realtor and real estate investor, and Olga has been a game changer for me.
Eric and I are both members of, it's a real estate conference that we both attend quite regularly, and Olga was a keynote speaker one time, and I heard her talk, and the things that she was saying just really, really resonated, and I practically ran after her after she finished talking.
I was at that same conference, and what I noticed is that Olga was asking questions about, what's slowing you down, what's stopping you, and under my breath, my answers were her first 2, 3 answers, and she was basically talking directly to me.
Well, in my case, it was a situation much like Eric's where I just really knew that I wasn't doing as well as I could, and after talking with her, I realized how much I was in my own way. I had anxiety about going to the next level. I had a whole set of issues that were really fear-based, and she helped me work through, she's a business coach, but there was a lot of emotional stuff that I needed to work through to sort of get where I wanted to be, and I recognized that she had a lot of the answers that I didn't have.
I think I was pretty similar in the fact that I had a lot of emotional stuff holding me back, and we worked through a lot of the stuff, things that I thought I could just sweep under the rug, and these were the things that were actually causing me to spin my wheels and and procrastinate. I was able to spend a lot of time accomplishing nothing, and she really helped me figure out what it was that was causing that, and it was not at all what I ever thought it was. I just thought I was possibly lazy or possibly, didn't have the right path, and it was definitely not that.
Well, it's stuff nobody ever talks about, right?
Exactly.
Well, I went into it thinking, here I'm going to get some business coaching. It's going to be sort of a step-by-step, do this. It would relate to finances and stuff. But what I discovered, as Eric has already talked about, is that before I could really get on that path really effectively, there was some personal issues, emotional issues that I needed to get through. And no, it wasn't like, Freud laid out on a couch and therapy and all this kind of stuff. But there was a lot of stuff that I needed to get in touch with and get out of my own way. And then once we started working through that, the business stuff did start to come. And the clarity that I achieved with Olga's guidance is what probably made a difference in a way that I couldn't have seen. I didn't think that I was in my own way as much as what I was. And so when we started to work through those issues, I really did actually feel like, oh, wow, it's like somebody turned the lights on, because, I've always worked pretty hard, and I've always felt like I was trying hard too, and things hadn't been materializing exactly the way I'd hoped. And she shed a lot of light onto reasons why, and I think I'm just, A, I'm more productive, but B, I'm way happier.
I agree. I think the biggest surprise for me was I thought I'd get in there, do a few sessions, get a plan, and hit the ground running. And I realized very quickly that there was some things that were going to take some time and I needed to work through. And so my time with her has expanded far past what I thought it was going to be, and I have no intention of quitting working with her at this point. I sort of reached a point last year where it was almost like a new lease on life. I just felt more confident, and I had a really good feeling about a path that I was laying out for myself. And that has really, in the last 6 months, just culminated into more business and more progression in my personal life and my business life than I've ever had.
We met in the conference that we both attend, and we became acquaintances and got to know each other better over time. And there was a certain point where we both kind of noticed that each other were starting to be more active and starting to do more stuff. And Eric actually asked me, so I saw you posting on Olga's Facebook. Do you know her? And I said, yeah, I've been working with her. And you said...
So have I.
Yeah. Well, actually, you said, I knew it.
I knew it. Yeah, I did. So I noticed in Steve some changes, and I jokingly said to him he had that Olga glow. So it was obvious that he was making some changes, and I just saw a couple connections there, and she was making similar changes with me. So yeah, I just one day asked him over coffee, and turned out we were both doing the same thing. And we have a lot in common already. We were already friends. He's been to my wedding, but that really progressed our friendship and also opened up a lot of business opportunities for us to work together.
So with a little bit of guidance and some coaching, a lot of coaching from Olga, we started on this path, and actually we've started a whole business together, and we are doing all kinds of real estate investing in Phoenix, Arizona together now.
Yeah, not just Phoenix, but we've actually branched out outside into other states in the U.S. And it's been a really, really good partnership. I don't know if you've seen this, but whenever she's told me that she disagrees with a direction that I want to take and I fight her on it, she always ends up being right in the end. So I now listen a little harder when she says that's probably not the direction I want to go in, because she sees things that I don't see in myself.
Well, sometimes I'm actually happy to hear it, because it's like, oh, good, I'm going to get clarity here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? Yeah. Okay, so there's this question of getting through the touchy-feely stuff or the emotional stuff, and why do you do that with a business coach? And the truth is, for me, I think probably your experience was similar, that
Very.
Without working through that, I couldn't get out of my own way. So we definitely got to the business stuff, and that didn't actually take a really long time, but there was an emotional component looking at my experience, my life, how I deal with situations, how I deal with emotion, that I really had to work through in order to get to the business stuff. And then when we got to the business stuff, I could actually execute way more effectively, because I kind of knew how my brain was working and reacting
100%.
to things, and it made all the difference. And you talking about procrastinating, that's crazy, because in our partnership,
You'll
you're
see
always
that.
the one cracking the whip, which is good for me.
Yeah, I mean, the emotional stuff is one component of it, and getting out of your way is really important. I had to get out of my way, and now that I'm out of my way, we are concentrating pretty much on the business, how we're going to build our brand, how we're going to market ourselves, working on things like copy, working on things like marketing materials, working on things like webinars, doing things to pre-qualify people before they even get to us, so we're not spending so much time on each lead.
Okay, so we start, we're ramping up our business. We don't know how to get investors. Before you know it, the business is ramping up to the point, and you're doing a great job finding people.
Thank you.
With Olga's guidance on how to do it. And all of a sudden, we've got a new problem, which is...
Too many investors.
Well,
It's a good problem to have.
yeah. And now we're working on the systems so that we can handle the volume of investors and be effective without crashing and burning our own creation.
Absolutely. Although we shouldn't say crash and burn.
We shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Don't say crash and
don't
burn.
crash and burn.
Yeah. Okay, so aside from the business stuff and the real estate stuff and the emotional stuff, one of my challenges was I actually have a side passion and that I've been working on professionally for years. And one of the struggles that I was having was, how do I move forward in my life without giving up this other passion that I have? I'm a record producer, and I've loved doing that for years and years and years. And as much as I loved doing it, I had different business aspirations. And for a while, Olga had some issues with me wanting to do two things. But in my life, I really feel like the music fed my soul, and I really wanted a part of that. And we found a way for me to be effective at both things and to find a place for both of those things in my life so that I can just be a happy, fulfilled person while still being effective at everything that I want to be effective at. Would we recommend Olga?
I think we have been for
Yeah. She changed my life. I'm on a completely different path than I was when I met her, and I feel like it's the best decision that I've made in my professional and personal life for years and years and years. So would I recommend her? Come on.
Yeah, 100%.